Whatever game you play in life, sometimes you're going to lose. A point, a match, a season, a job. It's a roller coaster with many ups and downs. Effortless is a myth. I mean it. I say that as someone who has heard that word a lot. Effortless. People would say my play was effortless. Most of the time, they meant it as a compliment. But it used to frustrate me when they would say he barely broke a sweat. Or he's even trying. The truth is, I had to work very hard to make it look easy. I spent years whining, swearing, throwing my racket before I learned to keep my cool. The wake-up call came early in my career when an opponent at the Italian Open publicly questioned my mental discipline. He said, "Roger will be the favorite for the first 2 hours, then I'll be the favorite after that." I was puzzled at first, but eventually I realized what he was trying to say. Everybody can play well the first 2 hours. You're fit, you're fast, you're clear, and after 2 hours, your legs get wobbly, your mind starts wandering, and your discipline starts to fade. It made me understand I have so much work ahead of me, and I'm ready to go on this journey. I get it. My parents, my coaches, my fitness coach, everyone had been calling me out. So I started to train harder, a lot harder actually. But then I realized winning effortlessly is the ultimate achievement. I got that reputation because my warm-ups at the tournaments were so casual that people didn't think I've been training hard. But I had been working hard before the tournament when nobody was watching. Maybe you've seen a version of this at Dartmouth. I didn't get where I got on pure talent alone. I got there by trying to outwork my opponents. I believed in myself, but belief in yourself has to be earned. There was a moment in 2003 when my self-belief really kicked in. I was at the ATP finals where only the best 8 players qualify, and I beat some of the top players I really admired by aiming right at their strength. Before, I would run away from their strength. If a guy had a strong forehand, I would try to hit his backhand. But now, I would try to go after his forehand. I tried to beat the baseliners from the baseline. I tried to beat the attackers by attacking. I tried to beat the net rushers from the net. I took a chance by doing that. So why did I do it? To amplify my game and expand my options. You need a whole arsenal of strength. So if one of them breaks down, you've got something left. When your game is clicking like that, winning is easy, relatively. Then there are days when you just feel broken. Your back hurts, your knee hurts. I have that a lot. Maybe you're a little sick or scared, but you still find a way to win. And those are the victories we can be most proud of. Because they prove that you can win not just when you're at your best, but especially when you aren't. Yes, talent matters. I'm not going to stand here and tell you it doesn't. But talent has a broad definition. Most of the time, it's not about having a gift. It's about having grit. In tennis, a great forehand with sick racket head speed can be called a talent. But in tennis, like in life, discipline is also a talent, and so is patience. Trusting yourself is a talent. Embracing the process, loving the process is a talent. Managing your life, managing yourself, these can be talents too. Some people are born with them. Everybody has to work at them. From this day forward, some people are going to assume that because you graduated from Dartmouth, it all is going to come easy for you. And you know what? Let them believe that, as long as you don't. Okay, second lesson. It's only a point. Let me explain. You can work harder than you thought possible and still lose. Tennis is brutal. There's no getting around the fact that every tournament ends the same way. One player gets a trophy, every other player gets back on a plane, stares out of the window, and thinks, how the hell did I miss that shot? I tried not to lose, but I did lose, sometimes big. For me, one of the biggest was the finals at Wimbledon in 2008, me versus Nadal. Some call it the greatest match of all time. Losing at Wimbledon was a big deal because Wimbledon Winning Wimbledon is everything. Obviously, except winning that Dartmouth Master Pong title sophomore summer it is. I mean, I've gotten to play in some amazing venues around the world. But when you have the chance to walk onto center court at Wimbledon, the cathedral of tennis, and when you finish as the champion, you feel the magnitude of the moment, and there's nothing like it. In 2008, I was going for a record 6th consecutive title. I was playing for history. I'm not going to walk you through the match point by point. If we did, we would be here for hours, almost 5 hours to be exact. There were rain delays. The sun went down. Rafa won 2 sets. I won the next 2 sets in tie breaks. And we found ourselves at 7-all in the 5th. I understand why people focus on the end. The final minute is so dark I could barely see the chalk on the grass. But looking back, I feel like I lost at the very first point of the match. I looked across the net and I saw a guy who just a few weeks earlier crushed me in straight sets at the French Open. And I thought, this guy is maybe hungrier than I am. And he's finally got my number. It took me until the 3rd set before I remembered, hey buddy, you're the 5-time defending champion and you're on grass, by the way. You know how to do this. But I came too late and Rafa won, and it was well deserved. Some defeats hurt more than others. I knew I would never get another shot at 6 in a row. I lost Wimbledon, I lost my #1 ranking, and suddenly people said, he had a great run. Is this the changing of the guard? But I knew what I had to do. Keep working and keep competing. In tennis, perfection is impossible. In the 1,526 singles matches I played in my career, I won almost 80% of those matches. Now, I have a question for you. What percentage of points do you think I won in those matches? Only 54%. In other words, even top-ranked tennis players win barely more than half of the points they play. When you lose every second point on average, you learn not to dwell on every shot. You teach yourself to think, okay, I double faulted, it's only a point. Okay, I came to the net and I got passed again, it's only a point. Even a great shot, an overhead backhand smash that ends up on ESPN's top 10 playlist, that too is just a point. So here's why I'm telling you this. When you're playing a point, it has to be the most important thing in the world, and it is. But when it's behind you, it's behind you. This mindset is really crucial because it frees you to fully commit to the next point and the next point after that, with intensity, clarity, and focus. The truth is, whatever game you play in life, sometimes you're going to lose. A point, a match, a season, a job. It's a roller coaster with many ups and downs. And it's natural when you're down to doubt yourself and to feel sorry for yourself. And by the way, your opponents have self-doubt too. Don't ever forget that. But negative energy is wasted energy. You want to become a master at overcoming hard moments. That is, to me, the sign of a champion. The best in the world are not the best because they win every point. It's because they know they'll lose again and again and have learned how to deal with it. You accept it, cry it out if you need to, and then force a smile. You move on, be relentless, adapt and grow, work harder, work smarter. Remember, work smarter. Lesson 3. Life is bigger than the court. A tennis court is a small space, 2,106 square feet to be exact. I worked a lot, learned a lot, and ran a lot of miles in that small space, but the world is a whole lot bigger than that. Even when I was just starting out, I knew that tennis could show me the world, but tennis could never be the world. I knew that if I was lucky, maybe I could play competitively until my late 30s, maybe even 41. But even when I was in the top 5, it was important to me to have a life, a rewarding life, full of travel, culture, friendships, and especially family. I never abandoned my roots, I never forgot where I came from, but I also never lost my appetite to see the very big world. I left home at 14 to go to school in the French part of Switzerland for 2 years, and I was horribly homesick at first, but learned to love a life on the move. But these are the reasons I never burned out, maybe. All of you have so much to give, and I hope you will find your own unique ways to make a difference, because life really is much bigger than the court. As you head out into the world, don't forget, you get to bring all of this with you. This culture, this energy, these people, this color green. It's everywhere. The friends who have pushed you and supported you to become the best versions of yourself. When I left tennis, I became a former tennis player. But you are not a former anything. You are future record breakers, world travelers, future volunteers and philanthropists, future winners and future leaders. I'm here to tell you from the other side that leaving a familiar world behind and finding new ones is incredibly, deeply, wonderfully exciting. Effortless is a myth, as we heard. It's only a point. Life is bigger than the court. Also felt different this time around. And I think
more belief,
it was,
wasn't
yeah,
there?
it was more belief. I think it was a very much of a mental match. You know, as much as we're talking tactically about the match, at the end, Severin and Ivan and me, we said it's all mental. It's just you have to go out there and believe that point for point, whatever happens, it's nothing's going to change. And you just got to believe and keep coming at Rafa. And then if it's too good, that's too good, you know. But I'm not going to get down on myself. And it was easy to tell myself, just you have nothing to lose, Roger. Like I said on the court, it's okay to lose. Like he probably too, it's okay to lose, but you still want it badly. So, and I think that combination got me the win tonight.
How dramatic was the end? Have you ever experienced anything like that? 3
Not at this
challenges
level.
in like 2...
Yeah, not at this level.
Unbelievable. Were you a little bit
Did you know
nervous
it
then?
was in? Did you know you made that shot?
This one, I really thought
Yeah.
it was going to be a 90% chance that it was in.
Yeah.
And the second serve, I thought it was 90% chance that it was out. And then after, you know, I lost that next point, didn't I?
Yeah.
Then I had to, I think I hit another ace maybe to
Yeah.
get to another match point. Then I was like, I mean, he would have maybe actually missed that return and it would have been over. So, why is the umpire calling? And I was like, oh, I see it all written on the wall. I'm going to lose this match. You know, that's what goes through your mind ever so quickly. So, oh my God, like, I mean, the last game was, I don't even remember what happened, but I just
You don't
remember this
need to-
one inside out forehand that saved me tonight. And that's maybe why I won. Who knows? Because I kept on coming and I kept on believing. Can I have my racket real quick? Okay. So for the forehand, for those who play tennis, you'll want to use an Eastern grip, okay? You keep your knuckles apart, just a little bit. Obviously, you don't want to squeeze the grip too hard. Switching from forehand to backhand should be easy. Also remember, it all starts with the footwork. And to take back is important, and the same as the follow through. It's all mental. It's just you have to go out there and believe that point for point, whatever happens, nothing's going to change.